Today, we're discussing the best rapid-fire weapons in 7 Days to Die. Now, we've got a lot of info to cover and no time to waste, so let's get to it. 7 Days to Die offers a wide variety of weapons that you can use to fend off them zombie jerks. However, not every weapon is suited for every situation. Sometimes you find yourself being swarmed by a whole bunch of zombies, meaning you need to put a lot of lead downrange really fast. So today we're gonna count down the top 5 best rapid fire weapons in 7 Days to Die. And in order to determine this list, we are looking at straight DPS, that's damage per second. And in order to keep things a little less complicated, we're strictly going to use the numbers on the weapons themselves. But honestly, even factoring in things like skills, perks, and books doesn't really change the ranking of this list much at all. So we're going to keep things nice and simple and just use the base stats in order to calculate the DPS. But before we jump into today's list, I did want to take a moment to remind you to hit that like button, and if you haven't yet, consider subscribing to Saven's World. I release tutorial videos on 7 Days to Die every single week, and I have a back catalog of almost 300 tutorial videos from a wide variety of topics. But now, let's get to it. Let's jump right into the list with number 5. The sniper rifle. The sniper rifle is easily one of the most versatile weapons in 7 Days to Die. This weapon can be used in a variety of different character builds. The amount of damage that this bad boy can do with a single shot is staggering. As you see here, the ranged damage for a quality 6 sniper rifle, fully modded, is 121 points of damage per shot. By adding in the full auto mod, we can maximize the sniper rifle's rounds per minute, bumping that up to 161. This gives us a final DPS of 324.68. That is not too shabby. And again, that is just the base weapon stats DPS. That does not take into account the bonuses that you get from the perception attribute, the Deadeye perk, penetrator perk, or the sniper rifle book series. Just the sniper rifle all by its lonesome can deal a tremendous amount of damage extremely fast. Add on top of that the versatility with regards to character builds and the mere stopping power of every single shot the sniper rifle takes, and you have yourself quite a devastating combination. The sniper rifle is an absolutely awesome weapon in 7 Days to Die. Let's move on to number 4. The AK-47. The AK-47 brings back some pretty awesome memories. Back in Alpha 18, I believe that the AK-47 was the absolute hands-down best weapon in 7 Days to Die. Now in Alpha 19, it did get nerfed a little bit to make room for some other machine guns. However, it still has one of the highest DPS ratings of any gun in this game. A quality 6 AK-47 fully modded out has a ranged damage of 77 and a rounds per minute of 352. That gives us a final tally for DPS of 451.73. That is awesome. You honestly cannot go wrong by wielding an AK-47. Another important thing to point out about the AK is that in Alpha 19, the AK is a tier 1 weapon. That is very unique and honestly makes the AK a very good find. Since it's considered a tier 1 weapon, you will find it much earlier in your run, meaning you can get one of the highest DPS weapons in the game relatively early in the game. And having a trusty AK in your inventory can certainly get you out of some sticky situations. Having the 4th highest DPS rating of any weapon in 7 Days to Die, and only being a tier 1 weapon, meaning you'll find it early on in your run, make the AK-47 a very formidable and useful weapon in this game. While it may no longer be the absolute best weapon in the game, the AK-47 is still awesome. Let's move on to number 3. The SMG. Now, I've got to be honest with you folks, the SMG is one of my favorite weapons in 7 Days to Die. And honestly, it is often one of the most overlooked weapons in 7 Days to Die. The versatility of this weapon is unparalleled. It can be used in a variety of different character builds. It's an extremely effective stealth weapon, and it can also be used to mow down entire hordes of zombie jerks. The SMG has a ranged damage of 59, but it has the fastest fire rate of any weapon in the game. This bad boy can pump out an astounding 491 rounds per minute. That gives the SMG a DPS rating of 482.67. That is awesome. Now, one of the downsides of rapid fire weapons is that they burn through a tremendous amount of ammunition. Well, the great thing about the SMG is it fires 9mm rounds. Relatively speaking, the 9mm round is the cheapest ammunition in the game. All it takes is one bullet tip, one gunpowder, and one bullet casing to produce a single round of 9mm ammunition. Compare that to 7.62 ammo, and you need triple the amount of gunpowder in order to make a single round of 7.62. Also, you will find a lot more 9mm ammo in loot than you will 7.62. So basically speaking, the 9mm ammunition is much more accessible and much more readily available than other types of ammunition in 7 Days to Die. So when you couple the versatility of the SMG with the effectiveness of the SMG, add on top of that how easily accessible and readily available 9mm ammo is in 7 Days to Die, and the SMG is hands down one of the best weapons in this game. And that fact holds true when talking about DPS. When choosing a rapid fire weapon, you can't go wrong with the SMG. Let's move on to number 2. The Tactical Assault Rifle. Oh man, guys, now we're really getting into some of the heavy hitters when it comes to DPS. And if I'm being honest, when talking about weapons governed by the machine gunner perk, the Tactical Assault Rifle is actually my favorite and preferred weapon. A quality 6 Tactical Assault Rifle fully modded up has a ranged damage of 78 with a rounds per minute score of 468. That gives us a final DPS score of 608.4. That is awesome. And keep in mind, folks, the Tactical Assault Rifle is a tier 2 weapon. It's not even a tier 3 weapon. Yet this bad boy still kicks all kinds of ass. This weapon can easily handle entire groups of zombie jerks without breaking a sweat. If your aim is to put a whole lot of damage downrange as quickly as you can, it doesn't get much better than the Tactical Assault Rifle. This weapon is awesome. Now it is time for the number 1 undisputed king of DPS in 7 Days to Die, the M60 machine gun. There is absolutely no denying just how much damage the M60 machine gun can produce. If you're looking to put a whole lot of damage downrange as quickly as you can, it does not get any better than the M60. A quality 6 M60 machine gun fully modded out has a ranged damage of 83 points and a rounds per minute of 454. That gives us a final DPS score of 628.03. That is insane. The amount of damage per second this bad boy pumps out is second to none. Now, you heard me mention just a little bit ago that I actually prefer the Tactical Assault Rifle to the M60. And that is true, primarily because the M60 has such a ridiculously slow reload speed. It takes almost 6 seconds to reload an M60, whereas the Tactical Assault Rifle takes less than half that time. Now, granted, the M60 does have double the magazine size of the Tactical Assault Rifle, so at a quick glance, it seems like it pretty much balances out, and it may just be a matter of personal preference. Personally, for me, it comes down to offensive capability. I would much rather have only a 2.5 second time frame where I have no offensive capability, as opposed to a 6 6-second time frame where I have no offensive capability. A lot can happen in 6 seconds. That being said, the M60 machine gun is still an absolutely awesome and devastating weapon in 7 Days to Die. There is no denying that this weapon has the highest DPS of any weapon in the game. The M60 machine gun absolutely shreds the zombie jerks. Even a whole pack of zombies are no match for the amount of damage that this bad boy can spit out. So when it comes to rapid fire weapons in 7 Days to Die, the title of DPS King must go to the M60 machine gun. The situations that you face as a player in 7 Days to Die vary wildly. And sometimes, folks, you're faced with a situation that calls for having the ability to put as much damage downrange as quickly as possible. And thankfully, 7 Days to Die gives you a wide variety of weapons to choose from that do precisely that. Having one of these high DPS weapons on your character could just save your life. And I'm betting for a majority of people out there, it has in the past. So I'd love to hear your stories, folks. Hop on down in the comments and let me know how you've used any one or every one of these weapons to get yourself out of a sticky situation. Or let me know about a situation in which you did not quite pull yourself out of and really wish that you had one of these weapons in your inventory. And if you'd like to see some more best weapon videos for 7 Days to Die, I've created a very special playlist that you can access by clicking the box in the top right corner of the screen. But for now, this is Saven saying thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for joining me in Saven's World. And remember, the average gamer is always king of the hill on the bell curve.